It's not because we didn't want guests or couldn't get guests. It's just sometimes a nice change just to go back to what started this whole thing. And I feel like Cap's probably got a lot to say or something, and I probably do as well, or whatever. But yeah, you know what it's like. But anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe. Cap, man, happy Valentine's Day, brother. How are you?
I'm well, I think. I'm cleaning up Rival on my floor using a slingshot, which, remarkably, this thing will get 158 out of a Rival round. It's impressive.
Oh, you're kidding. Really?
And consistently. I'm going to try it again. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Love it.
Oh, I'm good. I've been doing stuff. I finally, like all last year, I talked about wanting to start a new loadout series and never got around to it. And then I finally did it, and it's going well. I've been having fun. I did my HVZ loadout, went live today, and it looks like I'm going to be doing, unless the votes take a drastic shift, I'll be doing my cowboy loadout next, which means I need to actually finish it.
So wait, have you actually started a cowboy loadout, or is it?
Yeah, I got most of the parts.
Okay.
It's going to be a weird kind of cyberpunk cowboy, like post-apocalyptic cowboy. I need
I'm
boots.
listening. I need
cowboy boots. I've got a cowboy helmet.
Cowboy helmet.
Yeah.
That I need explanation on.
It's a cowboy hat. That's a helmet.
Some bitch. All right, now I can't wait to see that. Obviously, no spoilers, but wow.
Oh, why not? Why not have spoilers here?
All right, I'm in. Let's see what we got. Hang on, ladies and gentlemen. The Cap is going to be bringing his cowboy helmet shortly.
Cowboy helmet.
Look at that. Cowboy helmet. Where did you find a cowboy helmet?
eBay or Amazon, I think. It's a hard hat shaped like a cowboy hat.
But of course it is. No, I got to get one now.
Yeah, so that's part of it. And there's a lot of other, silly bits, and there'll be stuff in holsters, and I'll have something lever action, and I'll have to have a shotgun, and all the stuff you'd expect from a good cowboy loadout.
So are you going to do like a slab, or are you going to just do an upgraded sling fire?
I'll probably go with my slab, because I have one, and it's shiny, and it deserves more love.
I would agree.
Probably I've got a pair of holsters for my lower back holsters for hammer shots, and then I've got drop leg proper, holsters for Ultra 2s. So have the whole, 6-shooter kind of loadout, and then a shotgun and a lever action, and it's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be fun.
I feel like you need to have a Derringer hidden somewhere. And it's got to be somewhere funny and creative.
I do have an ankle holster for the micro hammer shot.
Nice.
3D printed solid gave me. I don't know where it is. Oh yeah, I do. It's hypothetically, it's in my holster trunk, where the rest of my holsters are. Anyway, I'm going to start getting to work on what I plan to work on during this video. I got a pair of new Outlaws, brand new, still in box, ain't never been snuffed. And I'm going to put some radioactive upgrade kits in them. That's what I'm going to do.
That'll be very cool.
What have you been up to? Didn't you go to a con recently? Do a thing with stuff and people?
I did. I went to a thing. I went to a con thing. So actually, I went to Orlando, Florida, and it's the first time I've done MegaCon. MegaCon is in Orlando, and it happens yearly, and it is part of like the whole Fan Expo tour. Fan Expo, I think they do 6 or 8 major events across the U.S. I can't remember how many, but they are usually like the high volume ones where you get a ton of people. And man, let me tell you, it was a ton of people. I think it's like 160,000 people. And the mass of humanity that flows by, if you don't like people or crowds or groups, I would suggest Xanax or not coming because you can get caught up in those waves of people. And yeah, you're riding that wave until it breaks apart on something or it stops to get out. But it was a lot of fun. So while we were down there, two people I was kind of hoping and expecting to meet. One was Jared Sanford. Jared is the admin for Nerf OBS. He came by the booth, which was so cool, and actually he gave me my custom mat that he's been rolling out and selling. It's basically the banner from the Facebook page. I'll go fish that out later. So he gave me one of those and got to see him in person. We talked for a bit, which was so much fun. Would have been nice to talk to him more, but at the same time, we're trying to run a booth, so it's kind of like overwhelming.
Yeah.
And then the next person we had was we had not enough Nerf stop by, and the fun thing about it, he had never been to a con before, so even he was like freaking out, going, "Wow, this is different." I said, "Yeah, but this is kind of a normal one." I said, "You should try an anime one."
That sounds terrifying.
It is different, but he came by the booth, and it was actually his birthday. I can't remember. I think it was the day of, or it was in around there. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was his birthday, and so he ended up getting a blaster from me. He got a Mark III Magnus Master Key, and that was pretty cool. We hung out with him, answered a lot of questions back and forth. He is good people, so it's like I said, when I do these conventions, it's a couple of fold. One, they're fun. It gives me a good reason to go to a convention. You see all the fun things that can happen there, the different people you can meet. But never mind, it's also a way of me having a storefront. Where I live, doing like a brick and mortar storefront is something ridiculous, and I sell nowhere near enough to be able to support a brick and mortar company.
Right.
However, conventions, I can buy it for a weekend. You got a ton of people there through, and much like a shop, there's all my stuff. Feel free to see it in person, pick it up, touch it, use it, or buy it. And a lot of that happened, which is normal. No one broke anything, thankfully. But man, 160,000 people. Yeah, we were tired.
Did I see there were some sticky fingers at this event?
Yes. So at conventions, there's always sticky fingers. And I've been lucky in all my events that during actual con hours, no one has actually stolen anything off my table. I keep a close eye on it. Usually my people do. Plus, it's kind of obvious when you walk away with the big Strife Vagabond Master Key that it's kind of obvious you're walking away with it. And I'm pretty sure you stole it. It's not something you can stick in your pocket. So usually, because this is the first con I've done where I'm kind of out of town. All the other ones are local. So for me, it's pack up, get out of there quick, get home, and be done with it. But because we were spending the night in Orlando still, not leaving till the next morning, part of the rush when you're tearing down your booth is get it tear down as quickly as you can, get to your vehicle, get a dock pass, and get in before the massive lineup starts of vendors trying to get their vehicle to an open dock to load up their stuff and get out of there.
Yeah.
So instead of that nightmare, we decided just to break down the booth and go out to dinner. Now, part of it is because we made reservations a little too earlier, so we're a little bit rushed. And we still broke down the booth, but I didn't cover as many things as I would have liked to. But at the same time, every con I've done, usually by half an hour, 40 minutes after, the general public has been cleared out of the venue. They, however, did not really enforce that. So you had people wondering that were not vendors and not staff, but still con goers.
Oh, during the chaos of teardown, yeah, that would be the time to loot the shop.
So when we went out to dinner and did this wicked Cuban place, man, and oh my God, buddy, it was good. It was good. The challenges was finding somewhere where you can park a truck and a trailer, but we lucked out and able to go to this Cuban place, and the food is fantastic. Because for us, we had to be out of there by 11, so we made it back by 9. And at that point, we knew once we had a spot, there was one, two, three, four. There were four of us that we could get it out of there quickly. So when we got there, quickly unpacked everything, brought it in, and I remember in the chaos of running it out, I thought to myself, you know what? I feel like I'm missing a couple of boxes, but then again, maybe Andrew grabbed it, or someone else was with me. Maybe it already had left. And it wasn't until I got home and I started thinking and assessing and realizing it's like, mother effer. Someone stole the pretty boxes, and it's clearly someone that was in a rush or didn't know exactly everything, because there were the plain cardboard boxes, like when you order from, example, Dart Zone, and the Mark III comes in the cardboard shell and
Yeah.
covering up like the pretty inside. So the only boxes they took were the ones that were in pretty boxes. And so I think it's about three or four they took, but the most telltale one they took was a Mark 1.2 that I had done. It's in red. It is clearly something I have done. And even if someone says, I bought it, yeah, you know what, Sunshine? No, you didn't. Because I'm going to tell you now how many of them I made. Can we see that? This is how many of them I made. If there is only
Yeah.
one.
Feeling a one-of-a-kind thing is kind of like, yeah, you didn't think that one through, did you?
Yep. And the other thing is, if they're smart enough, they're hopefully holding on to it and just keeping it at their house. If they're stupid enough to list it anywhere, this is why I love our community. You put it out there that it's been stolen, and so many groups I'm part of, message chains and otherwise, they scour the internet daily for things, and they find everything like from vintage blasters to sales. So I can't wait till some dumbass lists that Mark 1.2, because you know what, Sunshine, I don't care where you live. I'll be on my truck tomorrow. I'm knocking on your front door, and you're going to answer some questions.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Give them what for? For a small enough community, it's hard to get away with that kind of malarkey.
It is. So overall, I'm not like,
What's going
obviously
on
the
here?
cash loss is not the big deal for me. It's more the principle of the thing, and maybe you need to be taught a lesson.
Man, am I missing something about this kit?
Why? What are you doing? Tell me. Show us where you're at. What you got going on?
So I'm putting this radioactive kit into this, but the barrel doesn't go far enough forward for you to get the cylinder in. It's getting caught on the front barrel section. I'm wondering if I'm supposed to Dremel it out or if it's supposed to fit. I'm not sure.
Should fit standard, right? Unless you got like
I would have expected it to be completely drop in, not requiring you to modify the blaster, but apparently not. I have to reach out to Trip and find out what's going on. Maybe I installed it wrong.
I was gonna say, when you install that barrel, can you move a little forward?
No, the way it fits, that's stuck where it is. I'm just wondering if I'm supposed to Dremel out the shell so the barrel can go a little bit further forward. It might be a feature and not a flaw. I'll ping Trip when I'm later.
Because usually on those, when you prime it, it slides back and forth, but it seems like it's already in
exactly. And that's the thing, is it's not able to go all the way forward anymore.
All right, while you're doing that, I guess we should look at the chat to see what all our friends are saying and talking
I can't
about.
see the chat. Can anyone else see the chat? I got no chat.
Oh, I got a couple. So let's see. General Strife loved the loadout cap. Amazing video. So he loves your thing.
Who's that?
General Strife loved your loadout video.
Yeah, my HVZ loadout is, like I said in the video, it's the culmination of like 12 years of HVZing, finally honing it down to the perfect loadout for me. I know it wouldn't be perfect for a lot of other people because they actually like to, run. I don't do that running stuff. Prey animals.
It is. We just tell people to get off our lawn while we walk through.
Yeah. The zombies are going to come to me. I just need to make sure I have enough ammo for most of them. They'll get me eventually.
So then we have Pandora Nerf. Pandora Nerf is letting us know, yep, Fan Expo is massive. Jaeger Collects is saying that he thinks they come to the UK. I'm not sure, but they might. We know they do US and Canada. I know. Again, back to Pandora one more time. He said, this community and the cosplay community is very tight, and they're very quick to out thefts. So yeah, once the word is out, let's hope you're not part of either of these communities because you're gonna get caught, buddy.
Yeah, another one is the medieval recreation community, because every once in a while someone will steal someone's suit of armor as if that's something you can sell on eBay. Like, there isn't a suit of armor in the U.S. that isn't custom made. I mean, it has to be. It's the only way to get it. So someone's gonna notice, like, that's Sir Dingley Dang's armor. Where'd you get that? Oh, I bought it. No, you didn't. Sir Dingley Dang said it was stolen. Don't look now, but Sir Dingley Dang standing behind you with a really big axe.
What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, some people are just not smart.
People are the worst.
At times, yes.
Also, some pretty cool people out there.
Where?
I've gotten several suggestions. Speaking of my loadout video, several people have commented loadouts they'd like to see that hadn't actually occurred to me. Like, oh yeah, I should put that on the list. Like, for some bizarre reason, I don't think I had Juggernaut on the list. You're like, that's my thing. How is that not on the list?
Yeah.
The other one somebody requested was my original HVZ loadout, my old Ire, when I had Ire and the heavy armor and all of that. Like, that could be interesting, because I could do this is why I don't wear this one anymore. I could have me in my current heavy looking over at me and my old heavy going, what are you doing, man? Where are you planning to go with that? College campus? Come on.
Although, and I know it's frowned upon because the color scheme is off, but I am definitely going to do a Punisher loadout. Well, I've been a Punisher fan since I was 15. So that was way before people started putting on everything else and turned to politics and everything else. As I tell people, do me a favor, get out of my life. I am 49. I did it when I was 15. Some of you weren't even born yet and don't understand Marvel or the original story. And when I say Frank Castle, you look at me with a blank stare. So shut up, take that logo off, and go hide in the corner and think about what you did.
Yeah. Yeah. People are the worst. I do want to do a Mandalorian loadout someday.
That would be my second one, yes.
Yeah. Need to make the armor. And being me, I'm tempted to make it out of, metal.
Wait. Metal's heavy though, dude, because you're already walking and a lot of metal, man.
Not if you do light metal. You can make it out of aluminum, or if you wanted to get fancy, you can make it out of titanium.
Because titanium is cheap. Or
Yeah, I like that one.
See? Football pads, man.
But I want something that goes ping when it gets hit.
Trust me, it'll ping when someone hits this. This is plastic.
That'll go flap. I don't want flap. I want ping. I mean, you could put like a bell underneath it so you dingle every time someone hits you. Ding!
When you're here, we'll test out noises and make sure it's making the proper noise.
You can also make it out of really thin metal. My armor is made out of roofing tin.
Actually, that's the thing.
With a powerful enough blaster.
Well, the thing is with this, obviously, because it is still football pads, just for the comfort of sliding it on and off, and you get the shoulders for ridiculousness. But this chest piece is actually 3D printed, so you can actually fabricate one out of tin, and you get your ping. And the same thing, shoulder caps, instead of trying to form the underside to support it. And the thing is, football pads now are so much smaller profile than what they used to be, and it's an easy base to build and screw and attach things to.
So do you buy your pads new, or do you thrift them?
No, brand new, man. I charge way too much for use thrifted pads that smell like someone else.
Fair enough. The shoulder armor on my old HVZ gear is actually catcher shoulder pads that I found in a Goodwill.
That makes sense. And I was looking actually at if you go again on Amazon, it's where most of things actually start. Is I looked for a current umpire or catcher armor, and some of it is much. It's definitely updated, and it's like a great platform to build off of. Never mind standard like motocross armor or for dirt bikes.
Yep.
There's all kinds.
Yeah, there's a lot of neat armors you can get through like AliExpress. Train? Incidentally, this is a call-in show, and if you want to call in, there is a number blinking above my head at the moment, apparently. You got any comments? Who's commenting? Who's talking? What we got going on?
So, someone had said in terms of loadouts, it was what about the? Call in and ask Al or Cap to be your Valentine. So if any of you can call in and ask if we'll be your Valentine. No promises there, but we accept requests. Let's see. Andrew Dart Sweep has checked in. Happy Valentine's Day. So he's hanging out. My wife has now yelled Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Happy Valentine's Day, baby. I made sure to buy her a lot of flowers. If ever your other half tells you, no, you don't have to buy anything, disregard, buy flowers, at least.
You don't have to, but you should.
Exactly. Oh, but the one thing I saw, and this is for you, is what about the 20 hammer shot loadout? We'll circle back to that. We have a caller.
We have a caller. Who wants to talk to us?
Let's find out.
Hello?
Hello?
Who are you? What do you want?
Hello. It's your fellow Team Mega XXL member who we will not drop a name because that guy cost us a match and we don't like him.
Look, the guy I'm mad at is the one that caused us to win a match. That was just inconsiderate.
Was that
I wanted to go
Matt?
home and eat burgers, but no, I had to stay and cheer on a team or some such. Who invited that ringer anyway?
I'll tell you.
Right, here, what do you want? What?
I hope you gentlemen are off to a good start to your evening, but I heard some horrible rumors going around on the interwebs. Al, I heard that you'll be attending a convention literally this weekend, and Cap, I'm told by your squire, whoever that is, who picks up your rockets, was claiming to say that you were running around screaming the words Hail Hydra Dominatus. Can either of you confirm or deny any of that?
Lies and slander. I will not stand for this defamation of my character.
And the recording was me. It wasn't him. We swear. It was me.
Have no idea what you're talking about.
But yes, which reminds me, I will be at another convention this weekend. Yeah, I've been busy. I will be at Katsucon this weekend. I was. The one weekend between. And tomorrow is set up. This one's only 3-day. MegaCon was 4-day. This one's Katsucon and happens over at the Gaylord National. This one's an anime heavy one. This one's only about 20,000 people, but because it's packed into a smaller venue, it is still just a mass, consistent thing of humanity flowing by your booth. We're trying to get anywhere is difficult. But Katsucon this weekend, which reminds me, the caller is one called Wolfguard Cosplay. And yeah, dude, tomorrow, my house, if you can be here by 10, that'd be good. I got still a lot of stuff to do.
Sounds good, brother. I will be there. I might have to take out that person who was telling all these rumors and lies to besmirching the good name of Team Mega XXL and whatnot, if we have a good name. I don't know.
We have a name, but do you want to tell people the stupid thing I ordered that we're going to use on the game day?
No, because actually I kind of want that to be a surprise, and I think it would just be more hilarious when they see it.
All right, we won't talk about it.
I have no
Save the absurdity.
What'd you say, Cap?
What? I'm all for keeping it secret. I also have no idea what you're talking about.
Excellent.
That's my story.
The team
sticking to it.
The team coercion is great. We're good.
It is. Get off.
Apparently, we got another caller just lined up.
All right,
Let's
we got
just get
somebody
them
else.
right on in here. Let me get back to whatever your previous question was. Something about hammer shots.
Oh,
Yes, but now, who is it?
Who are you? What do you want?
General Strife.
Hello.
Are you calling
What
because
do
you
you
want to
want?
be our Valentine?
Maybe.
Your request will be considered and put at the bottom of the file. We'll let you know in due process time.
Yippee!
So what do you got? You got a question? What? What? Hello.
No, I just wanted to call because ever since like one foam zone, I remember I've only missed one call ever since you're doing the foam lines. I only missed one, and Dirt Sweep called me out for it. So I made a vow that I would call every single time.
Peer pressure and shame. Ha! I found another rival round.
You can't. You've definitely lived up to it. You'd called in for this show. You were absolved.
Go. Seriously.
General Strife, which reminds me, where are you located, buddy?
Iowa.
Oh wow.
Refuse to accept responsibility for that.
I've been to Iowa.
What?
My wife's family's from Iowa. They're actually from places just outside of Centerville, but now they moved up to where is it? Anyways, they moved. But yeah, I went down for a couple of summers straight. It's been a while though.
I don't know that I've been there. I've probably flown over it. Someday I'll have to get there. Got flags to collect.
Yes. Are you still there?
Yes.
I was worried that we'd hung up on you already. So have you tried to convince a parental unit to take you to Maryland Mayhem yet?
I literally can't. I got school and stuff.
School? Oh, they still do that thing?
Yeah, sadly. I thought it was outlawed like last year. Apparently not.
Well, I mean, education has been, but apparently they still make you go to school.
All right. Do you have any requests then for the Cap, knowing that he's going to do some crazy loadouts? Any one that you'd like so far, or something you're hoping to see?
Yeah.
Maverick loadout.
Yeah. Oh, that'll probably end up as part of the pistols loadout, because I do have I've got several gear up Mavericks, and then I've got a couple that are Mayflies, so it'll probably end up in a video. I think I hit it. I got off my log. You're not already gone.
All right.
Awesome, buddy.
Mavericks. I will work Mavericks into one of my loadouts. I did have one in today's video, but it wasn't part of my loadout. It was a demonstration of Brett's loadout. Because Brett actually ran a whiteout Maverick in End War 2019. That was his entire loadout, and he, as far as we know, was the last human standing.
Of course he was.
Because he left the rest of us to die. As a true survivor should.
Apparently. Hey, here's a question. How does this look? I put an antenna on the thing.
I like it. Does it do anything?
No. You see the antenna? Is it too much to the side? Because I can't get it straight up.
It stands out more when it sticks out to the side. It matches the spikes.
Okay. Cool. These are standard,
so you were
like
asking something before that call. Hammer shot. Somebody asked about hammer shot loadout.
yes, about a 20 hammer shot loadout or something to
Yeah,
that
that one.
effect.
That one is on the list.
20 hammer shots.
Is it 20?
Well, how many? How are you going to do it?
At least 18. I think.
Have you done that before, or is this one of the ones that you're aiming to accomplish?
Well, I mean, I've done several of my loadouts that are going to be in the series before. I just haven't done them in this detail or in this new format. But yeah, I've done my all Hammershot loadout before, and it's actually the same rig as the Titan rocket loadout, because Titan rockets fit in double AK pouches, as do Hammershots. So that started out as my Hammershot loadout, and then I just reused the tack gear for the Titan rocket loadout because it just fit.
That makes sense. Although, can I popped in my mind?
Is it safe for to be broadcast?
Yes, thankfully. Hence the pause. Thought about it. Yeah, it's good. So, from like from obviously the original movie, The Matrix, when his jacket opens up and he has like two here, two here, two here,
yeah, see,
two here.
That's what I plan to do
here.
for the pistol loadout. Is I'll have a pair that are on leg rigs, I'll have a pair that are on the belt, and then I'll have at least two pairs that are on the chest rig at angles, like either like the way Neo had it or the way the Duke had it in the Boondock Saints.
Yep.
That was actually what was originally on the all Jolt loadout.
But of course,
the idea of just having nothing but jolts and just dropping them as you go. I need to redo that because apparently a bunch of the little 3D printed jolt holsters I made got a little melty.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
So then I guess
with a better concept.
For the pistol loadout, you can't, if you do like hammer shots or outlaws, they're almost a little too thick for the different things. Or what were you planning on using? Like obviously something like the Dart Zone Mark 2 or 2.1 are a little narrower, but they're still bigger blasters.
For the ones on the chest, I would probably actually use something like double strikes.
Yeah.
Because they will actually fit in a perfectly normal pistol holster. Like the one that I have on my old heavy HVZ rig for a double strike, I got at Walmart.
But of course you did.
Yeah. Years ago. I think I got that when I still lived in Idaho. Way back in the day.
And what he means by that, ladies and gentlemen, is last month. We just tell time differently.
I moved out of Idaho in 2016, and I don't miss it.
Does it miss you? Do they send you letters? Please come back.
No. Well, I mean, University of Idaho still sends me, asking for money.
As our treasured alumni.
Donate? Like, only if you're planning to burn the Kibby Dome down. I will donate to that.
Otherwise, no.
Otherwise, yeah. So what's this con you're trying to con me into going to?
Oh, so then, yeah. You go to many cons. So the interesting thing is these are usually spread out some. Like ConstruCon's always in February, but then AwesomeCon, the last couple have been in June. However, they've almost reset. So now AwesomeCon, which happens here in the DC area, is going to be March. Yeah, March. Oh, my brain. March 7th, 8th, and 9th. And it is more like a Comic-Con format instead of anime, and it's the biggest one for our area. And that's 70,000 people. So in the comments, if you all can encourage me to convince the Cap that he is coming to the DC area because he's going to come with me to AwesomeCon. So actually what we're then therefore telling you people is that it is now get off my lawn in person. If you want to see the two of us in a booth and are afraid of phone calls, that's not a problem. Pay for admission, come to my booth, and we'll yell at you there. And we'll answer your questions until we decide not to talk to you.
A small patch of fake grass that we can have them stand on so that we can tell them to get off of it.
Oh my God, we are so doing that. Yes. Oh, I didn't think of that. I can do that. We are going to get a square of turf. So if you want to be on it, we will drop it in front of it. You can get on it until we tell you, nope, you're off.
Get off my lawn.
dude, I love that idea.
So I looked into flights, and the cheapest would be flying in Thursday, flying out Monday evening, which
That's
is
not a
nice
problem.
because if I bring my work laptop with me, I won't have to take Monday off.
No, that works
'Cause I
fine,
can-
dude. Because
I can just
Monday I
work
have
from there.
nothing planned.
The travel there takes a lot longer because time zones are against me, so it's like a 4-hour flight, but takes 7 hours.
Yes, I noticed that when we went out to eat. Yeah, when we came home.
Yeah, but flying back, it's a 3-hour flight, but it takes an hour.
Yes, it's
Uh,
weird.
Yeah, time is wibbly. But yeah, what a caller! How dare they? Somebody wants to talk to us.
Let's see what they have to say.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Who are you? What do you want?
My name's Joe. I'm backyard foam. How you guys doing tonight?
What's going on, Joe?
I'm doing good.
Are you
Not
calling
too
because you want to
much,
be our
just-
Valentine?
Oh, that'd be sweet. Unfortunately, I think my wife would have a problem with that. Maybe, who knows?
So would mine. So we're good.
You might
There
find
we
out
go.
something you
Okay,
didn't know.
There you go. No, I'm just. I heard the challengers are starting to hit store shelves. So I'm kind of making my rounds to all my local places to see if anybody's stocking it. I figured I'd call in.
The Challenger. That's a new rival one, right?
Yeah.
Is it the semi-automatic one or the...
Yeah, the
Remake of the
Strife one.
Nice. I've seen
Yep.
pictures where apparently it's really narrow.
Yeah.
Like, I was
Really?
expecting it to be like the Hera, which is a chunky blaster. But apparently not, and I appreciate that.
Yep. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Hopefully, I got a Nerf war this weekend. I'm going to, so hopefully I can find one before Saturday. But if not, still have fun either way. The one question I have for you guys, I run a small, very small family HVZ at my parents' house for it's kind of like a 2 times a year family reunion, and we're talking maybe 12 people total. So there's not a lot of zombies. So I was wondering what kind of ideas or thoughts you'd have on puzzles or quests or things like that, where it's not really carrying thing from point A to point B, because those, with 1 or 2 zombies, it's not a lot.
True. Well, if there's so few zombies, puzzles that break up the horde of humans. Like having,
Makes sense.
okay, 2 people need to go here, 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 so that the zombies have a chance to potentially pick off one of the groups.
Oh, there you go.
Because the thing you have to remember about the missions and the quests in HVZ, they are specifically designed and intended to get humans tagged. That is the point of those missions. Because otherwise, you have no zombies, and it's just you walking around, and that's boring. And so the missions are supposed to get people tagged. They're supposed to be dangerous. But yeah, the biggest thing about the humans is if they're in a large group and they have too much firepower, it's really hard even for a horde of zombies to break through. But if you can break them up, you might do things like, if you want to get a fun one, I actually have the equipment for this, where the clues to unlock something are in one place, but the MacGuffin is somewhere else, and you have to be in at least 2 groups and are communicating via walkie-talkie or cell phone or whatever.
Ooh, I like that.
So,
the
yeah,
last one,
like
the last one we did, we introduced walkie-talkies. I gave them a group of a set of walkie-talkies just to communicate. But I like that. That's a good idea.
Actually, the other idea, and I did it over at Captain Xavier's place, the timer things that everyone had.
Oh yeah, Pinger
For 12
HVZ.
people, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's called Pinger HVZ. Everyone is given a timer, like an egg timer or whatever, but the screen has been blacked out or taped over, and so you don't know if your timer is set or not. And 2 or 3 of them are set to go off after a couple of minutes. And if your timer goes off, you're a zombie. Go.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that.
Dude, it causes
and this
chaos.
was meant to be
It is
really,
so much
really
fun.
high paced and really, really short rounds, because the way the stun works is if you stun a zombie, they are stunned in place for 5 seconds and are then immune for 5 seconds.
Nice.
And this really works if you're in something like an arena. I played it in the Foundry, which was an old factory from like World War II. We were indoors and getting rained on. And it was all narrow corridors and hallways. So as soon as you tagged a zombie, you just had to bolt, because in 5 seconds, they were going to be sprinting after you. And there was no way to tag them for 5 seconds. We did it in my arena, and same thing happened. So it kind of depends on where the location is. But Pinger HVZ is a lot of fun. It's really short rounds, lots of really short rounds. But you never know who's going to be the starting zombie. It's just when your beeper goes off, you're a zombie, drop your gear and charge. It makes for a very paranoid game of HVZ.
Now, the other game
I'm gonna take that.
There's one other for 12, so it's not an HVZ one. But what was the one? Was it Mafia? Was that the one we did where I was Agent of Chaos even though I wasn't supposed to?
Yeah, Trouble in Terrorist Town is what I think it's often called.
You know what that is, Backyard Foam?
No,
So you have you're drawing from a bucket that has colored, I use rival balls, but you can do anything just to determine randomly who is picked. Everyone closes their eyes, they draw from the bucket, you look at yours, and if you've got a certain color one, then you are the bad guys. And you're trying to manage to tag everybody before the other non-bad guys figure out that you're the bad guy and tag you. Again, it works better if you're in some place with a lot of concealed areas and cover, and so you can get people alone and tag them and they don't know who tagged who. The more detailed rules are available online. I'm pretty sure it's called Trouble in Terrorist Town is what it's usually called.
Dude, it's so much
but that's
fun.
not an HVZ sort of thing, but yeah.
Yeah, good to know. We typically do the team deathmatch stuff like that during the day, and then our HVZ usually starts like at dusk or whatever, when it starts getting dark out.
Oh yeah, Pinger HVZ would be perfect for that then.
It is, but if you do this this terrorist thing, dude, the first round we did it, I was, again, when you draw colors, you don't show anyone your color because no one knows who no one is. But we were all standing around for a good 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Everyone's looking at each other. I got tired of waiting, so then I just randomly shot someone and chaos ensued. And where at the end, they're like, "But you weren't a guy." I said, "I know. I got tired of standing around, man." And it was so much fun just in the chaos.
No, apparently he's gone now. But yeah, those are my suggestions. Pinger HVZ and missions that split the group up, and the transmitting or mission information or puzzle answers via radio while trying to defend yourself. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Oh, that really would be.
So Awesome Con.
Go ahead. Yes, Awesome Con. I love the idea of the turf, but Awesome Con, it is great. We'll actually be Dart Zone actually will also be there as well, and Dart Zone has this large inflatable shooting range. It is fantastic. Where it contains all the darts, man. You basically come up. It is free to shoot it, and they will be selling actually products as well. So you actually get to test fire it before you take it home. And I do believe there will be discounts for venues, con show specifics, but I don't have those numbers, so don't bother asking me because I don't work there. I have no idea. I just know they're going to be there. They're going to be selling stuff, and you get to shoot in the big range. And it's kind of easy because it's like, we'll give you the booth number, but really just look for the giant inflatable that says Dart Zone. It's kind of hard to miss.
Yeah, me and Al will be there. We make a noise. We're hard to miss.
That too.
who would we have to talk to if we wanted to organize a Nerf war at a con?
That is a good question. So a lot of the times, if anyone's ever done conventions before, they are pretty receptive to new ideas, new things, because essentially they're marketing companies trying to make their own convention bigger and better. So a lot of the times, and again, this is also for anyone that's wondering out themselves, you just got to talk to the company, find out what the nearest convention is to you or you go to, find out which organization or person is the main coordinator behind it, and send out basically it's as simple as emailing them an idea. Depending how large the con is will also depend if they are game to the idea or not, depending on the situation. But essentially, the person that gets to be in charge of the venue in terms of who they're selecting to be in is the person you want to talk to. And for a lot of them, a lot of these cons, like when you're submitting for a space, there is a process where they're asking you what you're doing, what you're selling, online pictures and everything else. Because some of these conventions that don't root them out, you go to booths and the booths are the same kinds of booths where clearly everyone's buying the same product from China en masse and trying to sell it.
9,000 booths of Funko Pops.
Yes. So they really try to sift through it to provide that variety, which actually makes the convention much more interesting. So far, I'm like the only one really that does what I do and are at conventions, which is why for a lot of them, when I ask to be a part of it, it's not hard for me to get in because I'm different. Also, even though there's so many conventions, the circuit is kind of closed in terms of people are aware of new things, troublemakers or otherwise. And I do my best not to make any waves. So it also helps. Wow, he's different and he's not an egomaniacal a-hole. So that helps
He's
as
not
well.
a jerk. Yeah, no, things like that. I mean, the Nerf community has that too. If you make a big nuisance of yourself in one group, it's a good chance the other groups are going to know about it real quick. It's good community policing.
Well, see, I think what's going to be fun about me and you being there, and we've done this in like it's different when you're at like a Nerf event. It's a smaller community. It's everyone that's in the community, so everyone knows who you are. It's funny when you're in these bigger places where it's like even if you have signs and names that say, "Hey, I'm Al the Geek. I'm Captain Xavier," people walk by you and like, no idea who these people are.
Who are these nerds? Yeah, well, it's a different world of nerds. I've run Nerf Wars at cons before. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, do tell us. How'd you do that?
Well, I got invited to do it. The two that I went to, one was down in Oricon. It was called Oricon, and it was a sci-fi writer kind of convention. And they just one year they had a room that we set up in. We just used stacks of tables and chairs for cover and ran our usual styles of Nerf War, capture the flag, team elimination, stuff like that. Next year it was outside in a tennis court, and we brought boxes to make cover out of. And yeah, it was fun. Another one was at a steampunk convention, which was handy because everyone already had goggles for iPro. I mean, that would be the trick, would be the equipment. Is obviously we'd have to provide enough blasters and we'd have to provide iPro and darts and all of that. It wouldn't need to be, fancy blasters or fancy iPro, the dollar Amazon iPro and, a couple of bins of like strong arms or hammer shots or whatever. Because odds are space is going to be limited, so you're not going to want to be using the high-powered stuff anyway. But and that'd also be how we would, limit the numbers. Okay, we've got this many blasters. That's how many people can play each round.
I would assume though people pay for it too and not free, because otherwise you're putting up a lot of money to do it and then be out a lot of money for people to play for free.
I did it for free because I didn't need the money, and it meant I got to go and play Nerf with a bunch of people in costume. It was fun. It was fun. Now the con might want to do, I don't know what you would charge for people to participate in a Nerf War. $5 a head, $2 a head, $1.50, $3, $3.50.
$3.50. I think it's depending on because it always depends on how big your play field is, and then based on your play field, let's say assume we can have 20 people at once. So it's almost like you pre-buy your time slot, either online before the con or during the con, and know that your time slot's at 2:00. Be back here at 1:45. When you come back at 1:45 for whatever, let's say it's like $20. With the $20, you get to play for, let's say, 15, 20 minutes. You get a free pair of goggles, which means they paid for. So that way they feel like they're taking something with them. And let's say you get rid of them.
So you're not, reusing other people's eye protection.
Yes, and I think also at the same time, if you're charging $20, is finding out like either clip-on like the rival ones or something even cheaper where it's like Team Red or Team Blue. So you're $20, here's 20 minutes, here's your iPro, here's your color tag. You get to keep all that because you'll probably lose it or forget to give it to me anyways. And then you let them run for 20 minutes. And then I guess the trick is timing it so you get a dart sweep in between. Oh, they show 15 minutes before. Everyone's issued, let's say, 4 magazines. You have 15 minutes, fill up your mags in your pockets with darts and go out there and play.
I do like the next round has to scrounge the darts from the field.
Yeah, you got to do
If
something
you want
like
darts, you got to go pick them up. There ain't no bin of darts here. Yeah, it'd be something we need to discuss, figure out the logistics of. But it's something I would love to do, to travel around running Nerf wars at cons.
Well, you know what? If it's so at a con, it'll probably be a contained area, just so darts aren't flying all over the place.
Yeah,
and if it's a contained
I figure
area,
it would be in a conference room or something, one of the rooms, or
yeah. And then what we can do, because now with you can get battery powered blowers that have enough juice where in between for the darts, we just start in the middle and blow them to either side. So you got 10 minutes.
That's actually what they did at the arena that I went to in Austin 2 weeks ago, or however long it was now. How long has it been?
Oh, wait. We're going to get into that next.
Yeah.
But
I guess
the idea being is, yeah, you blow it to one side. They get in. All right, you're let in. You got 7 minutes. Start loading up magazines from all the darts on your side of the floor, and game on. That really helps contain everything. Now, wait a minute. So tell us about Austin. Can you tell us about Austin? Was this a secret mission?
I went to a birthday party. I ate cake. It was lovely.
And you got to play at an arena?
Yeah, it was I can't remember the name of it now, but it was a Nerf arena in Austin. They had 2 big rooms, lots of cover, all lit up with UV lights and glow-in-the-dark stuff. And one room was all for Rival. The other was all for darts. They had loads of ammo and blasters. And they had a referee up in a tower calling out what the game types were. And they ran good game types. Or it's, okay, if you get tagged, you have to go back into this booth and either count to this amount or wait for the referee to yell, respawn, and then everyone charges back in. Very casual, fun games. It was well run. It was a good event. They do a lot of birthday parties. That's their bread and butter is Nerf birthday parties. And someone was doing a Nerf birthday party and invited me. Like, you know what? I've done weirder things for cake. I'll go to Austin for a birthday party.
Fine. If you come to Austin, I'll have cake.
Yeah. All right. What do we got going on in the comments? I see a lot of comments. I can't read them,
Let's do that. Oh, you can't read them? All right. So basically what we got, let me scroll back up a little bit here. So then the push is on to get you to AwesomeCon. And again, I announced also Andrew Dart Sweep will also be, so you'll get the trifecta of us there. There may be other people coming, but I don't want to drop names until I got confirmation because I don't want to be like, you lied, Al. No, I didn't lie. I didn't know, but that's why I'm not saying who else.
Wrong.
Yeah, I was just wrong. I was.
To say that I lied suggests I did it on purpose.
Yeah, not even close. Not even close. Let's see what do we got.
Let's see. Can I actually bring up the comments on my phone?
Can you do it?
No. Silence.
Make comments now.
I got it.
Started saying Cap ate the cake. Y'all heard it. You're being accused of eating the cake.
I did eat the cake. I was there.
The
cake was not a lie. It even had my logo on it. It was cool.
That's right. Let's see what else we got. I really like the shell for the Challenger. Challenger looks like a bolter. It does. Bolter Brothers. Oh, Andrew so Dart Sweep ordered the inverted scales AEB.
See, I'm trying to get my hands on one of them.
So I don't know nothing about that. Tell me about what that is.
So it's like a Stampede. It's an electronic Springer, or like the Colonel Wasp 76.
Yep.
Spring powered, battery powered, super cool. Inverted scales, I've heard, is really nice. It looks. I think that's the one that looks like a grease gun as opposed to the Colonel Wasp. It looks like an MP40, which has obvious problematic connotations.
So
it hasn't shown up. What?
Who is Inverted Scales? Is that the company?
I think Inverted Scales is one of those things that didn't translate well from Chinese. I don't actually know that for sure, though. There's a lot of that. Like if you look at a lot of the blasters on like View blasters or from Worker, like instead like the Captain Slug Caliburn was translated into Holy Sword, which is technically correct.
It is. Oh wait, Darth
Okay,
Sweep
I
has.
see how you got there. I mean, you Googled Caliburn, found out that it was, King Arthur's sword before Excalibur or after Excalibur or something like that. Like, holy sword. That's what we will call it. You're like, yeah, fair enough. There's a lot of names like that. You're like, wait a minute, how did you get to that?
Seriously. Darth Sweep has let us know that
sure.
inverted scales is QWK. Quick.
Okay. Train.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it'll eventually show up on like View Blasters or NF Strike or one of the sites of people that send me stuff, and I can get one.
That'd be cool.
Or I may break down and just buy it like a peasant.
Like a commoner. Like a commoner. Well, maybe someone will leave it on our lawn. We'll leave the grass out and hopefully it just turns up one day.
Yeah, that's what I tell people when they ping me on Facebook going, can I have one of these, please? You're like, sure, I'll chuck one out in my lawn. Come by and pick it up whenever you want. Like, I'm too far away. That's not my problem.
Not my problem.
Better hurry up. It's starting to rust.
So I think, well, speaking of blasters, so have you seen the video out of Nuremberg for the new Nexus Pro and the new Aeon?
Yes.
And your thoughts?
They look nifty. They put a stock attachment point on the Aeon. Well done. Well done. I love that they listen.
Dude, I'm excited for both of them. I think they're going to be, it's like the little fine tuning of it all. And again, like it's still like at $50 as opposed to, was the Aeon Pro 50 or $60? It was always at 50. Either way, the change is, if it's changed at all, it hasn't.
Now the Aeon was like 25. The Nexus was 50.
That's what I mean. So the new Nexus thing is 50, and I think the new version of the Aeon is still right around that 25. If it's up, it's only a little bit. Correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't matter.
I imagine it really helps their R&D department that we tinker and mod with whatever they release, and they can then, look at what we do, and they might even buy the kits we build and go, and we can mass produce this.
They just might. But it's nothing they'll admit to, and that's okay.
Brilliant way to crowdsource your R&D. I mean, if they're not doing it, they're wasting a lot of R&D.
Yes.
And looking at what we do to it. What did we do to the Aeon? We made a stock attachment point for it. We made it a pump grip. They didn't do that, which makes sense, but they put a stock attachment point on it. You're like, okay, that's cool. That saves us the trouble of printing one and gluing it on.
Well, I love the fact also that you got the Scar barrel, and then you also have the B-Car barrel as well.
The B-Car.
You got both of them.
Yeah, it's like, once again, it's like they saw, okay, well, what was our big complaint about it? Yeah, they've got power, but they're not accurate enough because they don't have rifling. Oh, well, we'll just throw rifling in the box. It's not that expensive. Cool.
You want so you've been in this you've been in this long enough as well. Don't you remember a time when anything that could possibly slow down your dart was a faux pas? The horrible term of everyone threw around barrel drag. Why would you do that? You're slowing down the bar. How dare you do that? A performance. And now suddenly it's like, no, you need a B-Car. You need rifling. I'm sorry. Did I sleep through that moment of time when that has changed? And then my follow-up question to that, how many years before it's decided, no, barrel drag is a thing again? I can't keep up, man.
So, yeah, no, you blink and you miss it. When I first got into the hobby, getting a blaster to hit over 100 FPS was considered really, really impressive. It's now considered really impressive to get a blaster to hit under 100 FPS. People have trouble getting blasters that they're buying off the shelf low enough to be able to use it at HVZ. Getting under that 120 is now difficult, where it used to be the golden standard of you're hitting 110. Oh my God. And nobody even worried about FPS limits at HVZ because nobody could get a blaster to hit over 120 FPS. That has changed. That is a different world. And the biggest difference was that we got really good at building sealed breeches, because it used to be really difficult. You had to make it out of brass yourself with multiple sizes, and they were always cutting your darts and jammed all the time. And then 3D printing came out, and then we got good at building sealed breeches, and we started, the Caliburn changed everything with the sheer obscene amount of power that it had. to the point that we had too much power. You started having the issue of it would cause whirlybirds and whatnot because there was excess pressure hitting the back of the dart after it had left the barrel. And so we're not worried about things like a scar barrel or a B car causing a little bit of drag because we've got more power than we need anyway.
Yeah,
no, it's the hobby has completely changed, but that's just our side of the hobby. Like 99 or probably 95% of the people who do play Nerf have no idea that we exist.
No.
They're just going to Walmart, buying a blaster and putting batteries in it or whatever and just shooting it. It's just not something that even occurs to them, and that's fine, But a lot of people in our hobby forget that we are a massive minority, a minuscule minority within the larger foam-flinging world. And there's advantages and disadvantages of that. The advantage is that we can get away with a lot that we probably wouldn't be able to get away with if more people knew what we were actually doing. We've got Nerf blasters that hit harder than paintball or airsoft blasters, and we're in the park.
Yeah,
maybe it's a good thing the city doesn't know about that. But most groups are pretty good about if you're going to be in public, they cap it at 150. Which is fine because you can buy 150 FPS blasters at Walmart, so that's okay. The really high cap stuff tends to be done somewhere a little more private and tends to be smaller groups, and they tend to keep up. We haven't had an issue yet, which is nice. The hobby's changed.
I think that's why also you and I get along because neither of us have a chip on our shoulders. And to give it like the last time when Cap was here. We went downtown to DC. He'd never been to to see the monuments and stuff like that. From my house, it's not that far. So he was wearing a Captain Xavier shirt. I was wearing an Al the Geek shirt, and it was nice. We weren't wearing jackets, so you can clearly see our shirts. And it was a busy weekend. There was a ton of people out, and not a single person recognized us. And we did not give two S's. It was like I'm
pretty sure I was half dead from COVID or something that day. And I'm still eternally grateful that I was touring DC with you and not somebody who thinks you need to see every single monument in one day or you've wasted your life. And so we saw 3 or 4 monuments. We were both just completely dragging. Like, should we go get ice cream and go home? Let's get ice cream and go home.
Yep.
I saw the Washington Monument. I saw Lincoln. I'm good. Let's get out of here.
Yes.
I saw the Congress building from a distance. I saw the White House from a distance. I'm good. Let's go. What about Jefferson? What about Jefferson?
He's way over there.
If I want to see him, I can look at a nickel. Let's go.
That's right. Let's do this correctly. And then what was the other thing I was going to say? There was something before that. Oh, with how small we are? No, wait a minute. I can't remember. Man, it zoomed by.
Something foam.
Either way, I am looking forward to both the Aeon and the Nexus Pro, just to see what I can do with it. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. And I love the fact again it's 150 FPS straight out of the box. No, wait, sorry, no correction. The Nexus Pro I think is 180. It's 180 FPS out of the box.
Right. Luckily, we've got ways of tuning that down fairly easily. Now Dart Zone has changed the entire face of the hobby, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And thanks to them, I think they're the reason that X-Shot got into it. Hasbro finally got into it. A little late, but excellent. Both of their initial Pro blasters were excellent blasters, but they're nowhere near catching up to Dart Zone. And the Dart Zone quality is solid plastic, solid builds, solid internals. They deliver what they say they're going to deliver. They're easily moddable. They're modular, and it's just like, yes, this is what we want. This is fabulous. We've been asking, when will we finally get an injection molded Caliburn? Out comes the Mark IV. Oh, this is just an injection molded Caliburn. Yes. It baffled me that some people are like, well, it's just an injection molded Caliburn. It's like, no, just nothing. That's exactly what we wanted. It's exactly what we needed.
Yes.
3D printing is fabulous, but it's fragile.
Yeah.
It's not meant for finished products. It's meant for rapid prototyping.
I tell you,
I'm not worried about dropping. I'm not worried about dropping this. I would be terrified to drop my pew pew.
Yeah. So when you'll see it at AwesomeCon with the Dart Zone booth, we had, I think it was 4 Mark IVs on the table, 4 to 6 Omnias on the table, and just people test firing. And Mark IV took a beating because you got people that have no idea what they're doing. It's amazing how many people inserted a banana mag backwards into a blaster, and then we're looking. It's like, really? Never mind that they got it in there, but I also love the people that take a half dart mag, and because we're also using spectrums, they were taking full size darts and put it in the mag, and they're like this. I said, tell you what, if you can fill that mag with those size darts and actually get the blaster to fire, yours for free. Let me try it. No, because you can't. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like this. Oh, okay.
You have to understand, a lot of these people have probably never handled a real firearm, much less, a toy one. I ran into that when I did stuff in medieval recreation. We would occasionally go to events and set up a booth where people could shoot arrows at us because we had foam arrows that we used to shoot at us when we did combat. Yeah. And so we'd, charge them 25 cents an arrow, come shoot arrows at our knights while the knights are fighting. And it was a lot of fun. But occasionally you'd get someone who'd come up and they'd be like holding the bow backwards. Like if you actually did what you're doing, you would literally shoot the arrow over your shoulder backwards. What? It was cartoonish in some cases. But then you remember, oh yeah, they're city kids.
True. But
I'm sure they know all kinds of things I don't know, but this is one that I know that they don't.
Exactly. But the one thing's for sure, by the end of the weekend, those things got thrown around, misfed. It's amazing how many times blasters jam, and it's not because of the blaster, it's just because people have no idea. And if you leave them unsupervised for 2 seconds, it's like, how did you jam 6 into this barrel? I don't understand. But
when it didn't work the first time, you just kept doing it again and again
and again. And then I put some, then I held it backwards. But they got worked and they got handled, and a testament to Dart Zone blasters. And by the end of the day, they all still fired. They all still function exactly the way they're supposed to. Whereas if we had caliburns on the table or anything else like that, I would give it an hour and 45 minutes. Not because they're not great blasters, they're just not meant for the abuse of children and people that are clueless.
No. And that's a whole different area of engineering. It's one of the reasons, when people ask me, why didn't you take all the locks out of your blaster? The locks are there for a reason. They keep me from breaking my blaster accidentally. Some of those locks are very important. We don't put them in our pro blasters because we know you need to prime the blaster before you put the magazine in. But little kids don't know that, and they'll try to shove the magazine into the blaster with it not being primed, and the magazine won't go in. But there's a lock that prevents you from breaking the internals when you try to force the magazine in when it's not primed. It just won't let you do it. Yeah. It's
the other thing we
testing,
learned.
It's good stuff. What'd you learn?
Oh, it is. So to operate a free firing range, to make it controllable, easily accessible, and to kind of control the masses, was you just can't walk up and pick up a blaster and walk away with it. Blasters are always on the table. We actually got people to register on Dart Zone, kind of from a marketing perspective, then they know how many people actually showed up. And it's also a good way of kind of controlling people. So you're not just handing random mags out to everybody. It's a win-win and everything. And people are like, is this going to cost me something? No, but you want my information? I said yes, because that way I can find you, and therefore I break in the middle of the night and steal your kidney. Like, oh, you're just kidding.
No,
I said, I am.
We want to keep track of how many people actually came to the booth, because that's how you justify having the booth.
Yes. Register. Do you like having us here? Yeah. Then maybe register, and that way we can just keep showing up at these things. Otherwise, they're like, why are we doing this?
That's the other reason that I would like to do a Nerf war at an event like this, and why the booth probably does so well is I've been to a fair number of cons. There's a remarkably low amount of audience participation things.
Yeah.
Womcat, why are you being weird?
It's true. And the other thing is what Dart Zone does at these events, is when you register. If you register that weekend, you qualify for a raffle, and then you can actually win blasters. The raffle's drawn on Monday, and they actually ship it to you too. So they're win-wins. But the way so once you registered, then we hand you a mag, and right in front of the table are boxes of darts. Fill the mag, and usually tell people 10 to 12 because they always try to overfill it. It's 15 round mags to like 18, 19. This won't fire. How many did you put in there? 18. Is that more than 12? I'm sorry. That's okay. Take them out. And then when they come back with the mag, then you hand them a blaster. Like some people pick up the blaster, walk away. No. Blaster on the table. Here's the mag. Fill the mag. When the mag is full, then you come back and I'll give you something.
Yeah,
and it's actually really a great way. It really is because it controls the chaos. People then get orderly and wait in line because they have their mag ready, and it functions. Although some people, it also helps eliminate parents that think that we're a daycare service, where it's like you leave your kids here. It's like, yeah, after the 2 or 3, especially when it's busy, that's like, hey, listen, finish that mag, man. I know you want to try stuff, but I got people waiting and it's free. You're gonna cycle out and come back later. You had your chance. See you later.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like fun. Yeah, I'd love to run something like that just to hang out, chat, introduce people to the hobby. If they'd let me run Nerf Wars, I'd happily run Nerf Wars.
We'll find people to convince and say, hey, this is what you're missing. This is what you want me to do.
Put together a standard proposal and potentially a travel kit.
Oh, yeah. What would you put in a travel kit?
That's kind of what I'd have, I mean, I could probably bring at least 20 or 40 like hammer shots or sweet revenges or in a carry-on suit or a checked luggage. iPro, team markers, flags. The one thing I would need from the convention would be cover, but like I said in the past, we've used stacks of chairs, cardboard boxes. If there's somewhere we can get boxes, there's usually like racks of chairs or stacks of chairs you can make cover with. It wouldn't be hard to run a Nerf war out of a suitcase.
This is true, and you can even flip tables.
Yeah, we've done that too. Tables.
Yep.
You don't need a whole lot. If you're running short rounds, you're not keeping score, stuff like that. It's okay. Here's the flag, or here's the MacGuffins.
Oh, it is. You know what's surprising?
Yeah, I could definitely put together a travel kit. What?
I did not. And again, at times when you're like, because we're all standing right in front of the firing booth, but that's the advantage of a giant inflatable. There's so much you can shoot, and there are targets all over the thing. I did not get shot by someone once. Although there were 6 times I almost walked right into it, but the people held their fire.
Nice. Range safety.
It is, and it's like, and again, some of them are firing. Well, they're firing Omnias and Mark. The Spectrums, who cares? Because it's the Spectrum. It's only 80 FPS. But the Mark IVs and the Spectrum
at close range.
200 FPS. That's gonna leave a welt on the side of my head. But dude, the Mark IVs, it's funny watching people's reaction to it because you tell them, hey, are these Nerf guns? No, they're dart zone, but I get why you say Nerf. It's like saying Kleenex. They're actually tissues. But this is a Mark IV. I said, it shoots 200 FPS. You know what that means? No. All right, you grow up with Nerf guns? Yes. Your Nerf guns is 70 FPS. This thing is almost 3 times that. Oh, wow. Yeah, I want to try that. Yeah, you do. And
you do.
I tell you, we should get GoPros, put them on our heads or shoulders, just like gameplay. And that way, especially the people have never handled these things before, just their reaction when they fire is priceless.
Yeah, you could just have a camera set up just filming the shooting line just to get reactions.
Because the reactions are phenomenal. Never mind. So that's the Mark IV. Never mind on the Omnia, because the Omnia is about 6 or 7 darts a second. And so a lot of people... Yeah, well, we just put it on full auto because it goes faster, and that's the wow factor. And I can't tell you how many people come over and say, hey, can I try that? Because all I hear is the someone emptying a mag into the back of the dart catcher, and you can hear it.
Yep.
I said, yeah, here, test fire, and then you're going to give me $60 if you don't want to buy one.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It is.
I will chat with you some more about travel plans. See if we can make it happen.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Hit that like button. I know, hit the like button. We have to say it, and don't worry, we forget to. It's just one of those like, oh yeah, maybe I should hit the like button. Did I mention hit the like button? That'd be great. And subscribe.
Have you considered hitting the like button?
You know, they should consider hitting the like button.
I'd hit the like button if I was them.
I already have.
We got comments here. Where are the comments? I've lost the comments again.
All right, let me go back into it. So some of these things
I
I'm
had
missing
brought
out
them up,
on.
but now I've lost them again.
Oh no. I wrote a high performer, Isaac. The ACAR is a neat concept, but you have to underbarrel your blaster for it to have any air to use. There. Jaeger collects. I prefer playing with what I find fun or what performs best. Again, that's what's the best part about this hobby is that there's so many facets to it. There's no right or wrong. It's all right because the whole point is there are many options. Do what you want to do. Joseph Stalin, there's a name. I love the Mark IV. And then Wizard Build.
Long shot versus Mark IV. Yeah, because that's a fair comparison. I like it.
Yeah, completely. Wizard Builds. I'd love to make it to one of the conventions you go to. Where are you located, Wizard Builds? Let me know where you are. And I'll let you know if I'm ever anywhere near that. Do what to the like button? You're going to smash the like button. Smash the like button while you're dialing this number. Okay. You're calling in to ask us questions and to let us know that you want to be our Valentine. You know what, dude? That brings up another point. I'm kind of upset. I just realized something.
What? What'd you do?
Well, not what I did, but what the people didn't do. Like we get on this show, we prepare things, we make sure to entertain people, we get people to come talk with us, guests, try to keep you up to speed on what's going on. And today of all days, today is Valentine's Day. You know what I realized we didn't get? We never got a single Valentine, not even a card or flowers or chocolate from anybody. Did you?
No, I wait until tomorrow and get all the chocolate half off.
But still, you got to buy it. You'd think, as giving as we are, someone would have sent us a Valentine, but no Valentines.
I'm not here for the free stuff. That's a lie. I ain't had a Valentine in 8 years. I'm used to it at this point.
In fact, I should retract that comment before suddenly people start sending me bad chocolate or something. I am just kidding. Exactly. You don't have to send it to us.
You're going to end up with 30 pounds of Skittles like I did.
Skittles go to Captain X. Everything else you can send to me.
No, Mint. It's Mint now. Mint. What do you think is the worst dart Nerf has made?
Oh,
I mean, you really want to say Ultra, but the Ultra Dart is actually a good dart. They just didn't make any good blasters for it.
I'm going to say the Velcro ones with the big Velcro bulbous head.
The Velcro ones weren't great.
I don't like those.
What were some of the early ones? I mean, the very first one had fins on it, which had advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the Supermax because they're not cross-compatible with anything but Supermax blasters.
Yep.
I have a bunch of them and I have a bunch of Supermaxes, but that wasn't a very good one. I don't even know if that one's Nerf. The Gyro Strike had a proprietary round.
Not even sure what that is, but I'll take your word for it.
It's a manual flywheel blaster.
Oh.
Kind of like the what was the one that was in the Zombie Strike line? Somebody in the comment.
Yeah.
What's that thing called?
I don't know what they look like, but I know what you're talking about. Zeal actually puts out a good point with the Ultras. The first round of Ultras, the head's all ripped off of them.
True. They had some quality control issues with the first batch. And like I said, the biggest problem was, one, it was a new ammo type, and it didn't give us anything new. If it had actually performed as well as they claimed it was going to, it would have been impressive to have a stock blaster shoot 120 feet.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
No.
None of them did. And so we're not going to replace our entire arsenal to this new ammo type that doesn't actually give us anything new. Once we started building blasters that had enough power to actually utilize the darts fly beautifully. But you got to get them going 150, 60 FPS from an air blaster to get them to work. And then they're not any better than half darts. So why would we switch? They got a bad rap. It was an interesting idea, and I like that Nerf is continues to try new stuff. I don't want to stifle the concept of innovation, because one of these days they might suddenly magically develop a dart that's infinitely better than anything else. And we'll never know if they don't keep trying stuff. I'd be curious to know how many designs never made it out of the engineers' notebooks.
So many, for so many reasons.
Yeah.
One,
I've seen some pictures of the original concept art.
Yeah.
Of things that didn't make it. And you're like, oh, that's way cooler than what they actually released. Why didn't we get that? Some of the zombie strike stuff that never made it out of out of concept art. You're like, but that's so cool.
It is. And I actually talked about this when I was on the Foam News Collective podcast. We talked about it. And sometimes it's just because with so many designs and so many things they put out, it's not how cool the design is. What's the ultimate determining factor? Cost of making and the manufacturing process.
Yep, it's all money.
It unfortunately is, because some
of
it,
that it's just tragic.
Well, it's like some of the stuff I make. Some people like, wouldn't it be cool if you mass produced it? Yeah, how? You know how much that would actually cost to figure it out and do it? It's like, I'd love to do it, but yeah. No.
Yeah, it's like people wondering, why don't you mass produce Tyr, or why don't you mass produce Ire, or why don't you mass produce? And you're like, Hasbro could never produce something like Tyr. The ammo alone costs more than anything Hasbro has ever released. It's 2,000 rounds. What?
Sure, what's the question?
Will I do a mod video on the MK? Are you talking to me? It doesn't need to be modded. It's fabulous.
I guess, well, I should, then, from a cosmetic perspective.
Yeah, you should do one on the Forge.
I know, and I just, because con life has overtaken my life, that I haven't had time to anything. But I think I'm going to do one on the Mark IV. The Mark IV, and it's funny where some people like first reactions, but it's too long. The eye is very deceptive. And when you start to compare it to other things, you realize that its overall length really isn't that massive as you think. The accelerator, the front barrel that they put on it, is great, but not a necessary thing. Because even without the barrel, it's still like 180 plus FPS. But what's interesting is that you get the orange scar in the back that you can pop in it. And what I was looking at is I actually took apart the front end, that long piece on the front of it. And once you take it apart, it's pretty, like, all that extra plastic really isn't necessary. Because, again, it, much like an N-Strike series, has that lug where it kind of just kind of fits in and lugs in. Where if I was actually so much better at CAD and designing it, you could design so many fun scar pieces to just insert on the front of it to change the look of that blaster completely. Where suddenly it's looking so much more what you had hoped or envisioned. So from a cosmetic perspective, there are so many options to do just off that front end to really change the whole look of it. Never mind the fact that you got the Picatinny rail on top. As soon as you got the Picatinny, you can stick anything and everything to it. Also, what I love about it, and Dartzone does it to all those blasters, once you take off that big foregrip, it's that standard little like 2-inch piece of Picatinny rail.
Yep, just Picatinny. I've got a different pump grip on mine because I don't like the stock grip, so I've just got an angled one. But I measured it. It's 8 inches longer than any of the other Dart Zone blasters. That's not ridiculous.
No, my stuff is ridiculous and people love it, and it's big. It's
Yeah.
longer than that. Let me tell you.
If you want some of the things you've mastered, Keith, I'm gonna have to make the blaster 2.5 feet longer to fit this under the barrel.
Yes, it's all about perspective, but it is so much fun. To open it and mess with it internally, I guess you can, but what's the point of it? Because, like you said, and maybe I guess that's the challenge. Everybody wants to, for like again, back to now. Now we sound like old dudes. We should call this like old guy stuff. But well, it is. Anyways, the
my day.
like you said, if you could get anything over 100 FPS, that was bloody magical. And like now, standard blasters, 150 FPS, 150 FPS. Yeah, but I can get it 160. Yeah, but I get 170. I can get 100. It's like, when is enough, man? It's kind of like at some of these things. That's it's I guess the joy of tinkering, and maybe
that's
I guess
absolutely what it is. It's not because they actually have a use for a 400 FPS blaster, because almost no events allow that. It's just, can I do it? And yeah, you can. I have no doubt you could get the Mark IV for that, because once again, it's an injection molded caliburn. The same internal. It just that's what's in there, and it's glorious. Yeah, same thing as the Swift. The Swift is also just a injection molded caliburn. But the plunger volume's there, the barrel's there. It's just a matter of getting the right spring, the right seals, using the right lube, and you can get it up to 400 easily. I mean, you can accidentally get it to 300 if you're look at it cross-eyed.
Oops. I pull a couple because I painted up a bunch of them for Katsucon, but they're all packed up already for tomorrow. But I'll get a bunch of pictures of it this weekend. And part of it was for me figuring out, again, for me it's the aesthetics, right? It's proportion. Is figuring out the correct scope to put on it. So I have those faux ACOGs that you can get from AK Blaster Mod Shop out of Hong Kong. They sell that faux ACOG with the little laser light on it for nothing. It's not a functional scope. It's just basically looks pretty. But I always feel it was kind of lacking. And then what I did was I actually took this thing. So again, this is like what I do to Raptor Strikes. But I actually took this scope, got the if I was any better at CAD, I'd tinker with that so it actually fit over Picatinny. But instead, I just got a Picatinny to Nerf adapter rail, which I combined to this, and I got that sitting on the Mark IV. And it actually goes with it so very well with the long extension and with the long extension. But again, for it to be successful, part of it is also in the marketing or the view of it. And what was an interesting thing we got at MegaCon, especially the kids that have no idea about like Dart Zone or Dart Blasters, you know how many people came up and asked if it's a railgun?
Yeah. I mean, it looks like one from a sci-fi show. And that's also the huge advantage for the Mark IV for you is normally if you put one of those enormous barrels on the blaster, it's going to negatively affect the performance because of the horrible barrel drag. Whereas putting the long barrel on the Mark IV makes it better.
Yes. But I got to take some pictures of it. And I did the same thing with the Mark 1.2. And what I essentially did there was change out the furniture from a striker. So I basically swapped the front scar barrels, whatever, full suppressors, whatever you want to call them. I switched those and I switched the stock attachments. And on that, then I put one of the ACOGs on. And it just makes the Mark 1.2 look in almost a comparable large sniper rifle as well, which people from a cosplay perspective or just looked at it, just loved it. And the same thing, they're like, well, is it any as good as the Mark IV? No, it's a little more disappointing because it's only about 185. Holy cow. I said, yeah, either way, you're going to win. So which one do you want?
But hear me out.
Yes.
We got the Mark IV. There's enough room here and here that you could mount a master key if you then had a side priming bolt. I expect to see it by this time next week. just throwing that out there. If you had a rail, a Picatinny thing that attached, so it had a side prime like a bolt action rifle instead of the under pump action, you could definitely put whatever master key you wanted on that if you wanted to.
Well, that's right, because I already have the side priming handle from the Harrier, because remember the Harrier comes with one.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that, because there's something else we should tell people about.
What are we telling people about? Don't be letting the cat out of the bag until it's actually done.
All right, I won't do that then.
I can still get out of it. It's not too late.
Fair enough. All right, we'll announce it when we got it officially finalized. But it'll involve Master King stuff.
It'll involve things.
Yes.
All right, what do we got going on in the comments? Is there anything going on in the comments?
Check it out. There we go. Sneeze and the Swift does 50 FPS.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, if you leave it in the room too long, the FPS just keeps getting higher.
Isaac says, well, technically the Mark IV is a Swift.
Yeah. But the Swift is just an injection molded Caliburn. Some of the parts are even cross compatible.
I think the Mark IV looks better than the Swift. The Swift, I never liked the lines on it.
See, I like the Swift, but I like a blocky angular blaster. So
there it is.
That's all a matter of preference. Yeah.
It really is.
Where did it go? I've lost the stream.
No. Oh, you got a forced commercial, maybe? Bots and Blasters are joining us. He goes, been here for hours just modding some. Dude, that's awesome, man. What's up, Bots and Blasters? Cap did the same thing early, but then he fell short, so he put the Outlaw down, and now he's just playing with stuff.
Yeah, I was working on modding some Outlaws, but the kit doesn't quite fit the way I was expecting it to, and now I don't know what to do.
So speaking of pistols, you know what I always found disappointing was
I've lost team. Teams has wandered off.
Oh. I always forget what this thing is named, the Nerf little pistol thing. It's a single shot. The lines on this is so doable and functional, but it's just such a terrible blaster. But I love it that it's thin. You can do so many fun things with it, as I did, but it just sucks. Someone take this and redo it, and I'd be so much happier. I forget what it's called.
I found it. I found the button. Which one? Which one were we talking about? Put it back up.
This thing.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, that one. Because again,
was originally came out in Dart Zone, and then they came out with one for Zombie Strike, and I love it. What was your complaint?
That it sucks, but otherwise the lines on it are great.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful looking blaster, but it's one that it'll take K26. You put a brass barrel in it, it'll hit 100 FPS.
Damn it! Now I got to do stuff to it. All right, because I love the fact that one screw, this thing comes off, and it's easy to mount and attach so many different things to it.
Yeah, that's one that I usually almost always pick up when I see, just because I always like the look of it and that it's Zombie Strike. But yeah, they came in orange and green for Dart Tag originally.
Yep, and I got them. Same thing. When I see them, I grab them. I got the all orange, and I got the all green.
Yep.
Yeah, there it is. There you go for your all.
It had a different name when it was released in Zombie Strike, and I don't remember what it was.
I know, it's that thing. It
like
also had the scope on it too,
or something like that.
Yeah, and Sure Strike and Zombie Strike is Clear Shot. Yeah, there it is.
Yes, Clear
Thank
Shot.
you, Bots. Thanks, brother.
Yep.
There you go. Your all pistol loadout. Have a bunch of these brass barreled in K26.
I'm pretty sure I've got a couple in a bin somewhere.
You need more? I have 7.
No, I don't even know how many I have. I've got an extra bin of them out in the bunker, probably. That's one I try not to give away. I don't know that I have the green or the orange one anymore. I think I might only have Zombie Strike ones anymore.
Could be. But like those, I've taken that tip off and then cut around it, and I can actually fit, I think it's 1-inch PVC pipe over it to extend it just enough. But I try not to go too ridiculous because you got to get a dart in there. So I usually make that front PVC removable. Yeah, but I still make it big and ridiculous because it's fun.
It's your idiom.
It is. It is.
Oh, we haven't had a caller in a while. Anyone out there want to call in, ask a question, recommend a loadout, ask to see something? Standing out here in my shop, my feet freezing, damp. Swamp Cat is annoyed because she wants to go in the house where it's warm and dry and there's food, and I'm out here talking to some
crazy guy. I forget that the yellow matches this yellow, so it almost looks like it's all one type of thing.
Oh yeah. So
I'm matchy.
Matchy. That's why I like orange too, because they make so many things in orange.
Yeah.
Easy to find stuff in orange.
I still got to put my visor on my Mandalorian helmet that I can wear with this, but it's way too big. But it doesn't matter.
That's not the point.
That's not the point. Well, they asked me for my head circumference, and then they compensated, and it is like way too big, and I already got a big head anyways. And I told them, can you make this smaller? What about your nose? My nose does not stick out that much. You can shrink it by the circumference by an inch, and it'll be good.
Yeah. Now, eventually, I want to do a heavy Mandalorian with a proton pack, which conveniently, the heavy Mandalorian guy, the blaster he had connected to the backpack. You're like, cool.
It's a no-brainer.
I just need to figure out, like, am I going to do a single barrel through the middle and then have the 3 barrels be faux barrels? At least I don't need to rotate. And once again, it's built on an MG42. So I already have the blaster to build it out of. Do we actually get a caller? Somebody call. Who wants to talk?
We did. I want to get back.
How dare they?
The heavy Mando back after. Go ahead. Who is this?
Yeah. Who are you? What do you want?
Hey, it's Isaac. It's Isaac. I feel like you recognize me at this point.
Isaac, what's shaking? I have a question for you, though.
Yeah, feel free.
It's Valentine's Day. What are you doing here? Is it because you just proposed, which is why you get to get out of jail free card, and then you can hang out with us instead of spending it with the fiance?
Oh, well, I'm at work.
Ah. Carry on then. Go ahead, buddy.
I don't leave until like 10 o'clock tonight, so no, my Valentine's Day date is this weekend.
Awesome. So you get to hang out with us.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, go ahead, brother. What do you got?
Yeah, anyways, kind of a question for Shalo, but I guess how you could pitch in on this too. You mentioned in your loadout today that you're using the FDL3 until something comes up that would replace it.
Yep.
What would be something that might replace the FDL3?
Well, I don't know. It doesn't exist yet.
Well, kind of. The SBF.
When we get to the SBF 3, I'll consider it. I've had more reliability issues with my SBF in the little time that I've had it and the 2 or 3 times I've run it than I have had with my FDL3 in 5 years.
Interesting.
So the reliability isn't there yet, but I don't expect it to be because it's the Mark 1. Once they get to a Mark 3, they might actually be as good. The other thing I actually really like about my FDL3 is it still fires full-length darts. I don't particularly want to switch to half darts for HVZ yet.
Interesting.
A lot of people are well, you can hold yeah, but I've never run out of ammo. And for some reason, half darts are twice as expensive as full-length darts.
Well, this is true.
The SPF, the reason I wanted to get it and the reason I bought it was the hope that it would be something that would be good enough to replace the FDL3. But the other reason I like the FDL3, my particular FDL3 for HVZ, is that it's semi-automatic. It's a mechanical pusher. It's less complicated. There are fewer things to fail. And I want as reliable as humanly possible for HVZ because you only get one jam and then you're dead and you're a zombie. I want something that doesn't jam. My FDL3 has never jammed on me in the field. My SBF has, and I've only run it twice. But I have no doubt something will eventually come up. So someday. But it'll need to be semi-automatic and ridiculously reliable.
The FDL4.
Oh, that would be, if only.
If only.
Are you still here? Get out of here. Get lost. Who are you? Is there another person here now? Was there another caller? What's going on? There's a voice in my head.
Hello. This is Bots. How you guys doing tonight?
Bots! You made it.
What's shaking, brother?
My feet are cold.
Hey, I just wanted to, I guess go ahead and plug something, but also get your guys' opinion on something. March 16th in Fort Boggy State Park, we will be having what's called the Texas Community Battle. So essentially, we're trying to grow our Texas community kind of big enough so this way how we have like APOC on one coast, Armageddon on the other coast. We want to have like a doomsday type event in Texas. So that's kind of what we're growing towards. But I just wanted to ask you guys, because you guys have been to a lot more major events than I have recently. So what would you guys recommend in regards to like organization and planning and, just things for general event organizers to keep an eye out for?
Well, the biggest issue is always going to be venue.
Yeah.
That is always the stumbling point for everything, because getting a large enough place to run a major HVZ or to run a tournament or to run, a convention, those take a lot of space. And that generally costs money, and that's going to be your biggest hurdle. Once you've got that worked out, the rest is mostly advertising.
Well, let me step in a little bit there too. Advertising is always key, but then also what makes people want to go to an event is one that is clearly well organized, well run, and clear about what it is, where it is, what time it is, and what you're doing. Instead of, hey, just show up and let's do this. Yeah, especially
communication and organization.
Yeah, because especially if you're hoping to get people that are going to have to spend the night or make a trek to get out there, they want to actually know, all right, if I'm committing a weekend to it, or if I'm committing like overnight to it, let me know what it is I'm doing. And then also, if you're expecting people, if you're going to get a large number or enough of a number where obviously, you're going to have to put people up somewhere, either reserving blocks of hotel rooms or at least letting people know where to stay or where to spend overnight. So it's kind of like eliminating any possible excuses people can come up with, because then that increases the odds of people showing up to it. Because if you think about it, when you're traveling, I guess, let's face it, it's people that can actually travel. It's not going to be students that can't go anywhere. It's going to be people that have jobs or money or otherwise. And if they want to go, they'll want to spend and want to be able to show up to it. So you kind of make it convenient for them. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that totally makes sense, actually. That totally makes sense.
Another thing is, if you want to get people to travel to your event as opposed to other events, you need to have something that the other events don't have. And that can be tricky.
Yeah, that's fair. I think in all honesty, we're not.
I should have kept them. This was interesting. Yeah.
Oh, wow. We got another first-time caller.
Boss, we'll talk about this some more. Well, before that, Boss, just a reminder, brother, let us know when the event is happening, when you got splash pages information, send it to us, man. We'll happily help advertise. That's awesome. That's we'll post it and spam about it and talk about it. If it's in March, you know what, maybe we'll have Bots on. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. So then, next caller.
We can have him as a guest and he can talk about it. We got a new person, a first-time caller. Who are you? What do you want? Are you here?
I heard a beep. So is it me? Am I there? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes.
Hey,
who is this?
It's Stunt Matt from Michigan.
Never heard of you.
What's going on, brother?
Al, what was your hobby before Nerf?
So before Nerf,
metal airplanes, wasn't it?
Well, that's a continuing hobby. So, but that one is just more of a collection as opposed to doing stuff with it. Yeah, I'm a huge aviation buff, so I collect 1:72 scale die-cast metal aircraft, and I have over 200 of them. partly because I
Holy
couldn't
smokes.
make models when I was a kid, and I like to detail them, so I collect those. I've been doing that for now, holy crap, 24 years. But before that, for probably a good, man, about 6 or 7 years, I got into making plastic model 700 scale warships, the Waterline series, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun for me. And you could make kits at that time you could pick up for like 15 to $25. And when you make a ship, they're so small, but I can put like 20 kits on a bookcase shelf. So that was that actually.
From what era?
Mostly World War II.
Okay. Great job at Foamsgiving as well. You were a wonderful host. It was better than a lot of professionals I've heard. Professional broadcasters. Amazing job, Al.
Dude, now you're going to make me blush, man. Thank you very much. The trick was not tripping over yourself. Lean into when you're being stupid and lost, and don't swear.
Yes,
don't swear. Yeah. Oh, no. Taylor, I have a question for you.
I'm going to get a warship while he's asking you. Go.
Okay.
What's going on?
It just looked like in your older videos you lived in sort of an urban area, and now it looks like you're in more of a rural area. If that's true, was that a big adjustment, and how is it?
No, because I was born in a rural area. I was born, I kid you not, in the sprawling metropolis of Cuterville in Idaho, population 27.
Oh my gosh.
Of which 9 were my family. And then my family was not from that area, though. My parents were from Illinois. So how they ended up in Cuterville, Idaho, I have no idea, but they did.
Wow.
No, moving to the urban area was the big adjustment to me. Moving to Tacoma and being smack dab in that endless urban sprawl, that was an adjustment, and I didn't like it. And so I moved out to a small town in the middle of nowhere, and it was really nice and peaceful for several years. And then I got new neighbors that are trash.
Oh, no.
And it's not nearly as nice here. And now I'm all riled up, so get off my lawn.
Well, he's gone, but yeah, 700 scale warships. This is actually the German Prince Eugen.
Boat. Did it sink? Was that one that sunk?
Oh yeah, I think most of the German Navy sank. And then
either by us or by themselves.
This is a British, I do believe it's a Nelson class battleship.
Yeah.
But yeah, 700 scale, man. So these are the crazy things I did. I still have some
kits. They're water line, so when you put them on a shelf, they look like they're in the water. That's cool.
Exactly. You can get someone come with the option for the full hull, but the water line sits, no problem. They won't roll over or fall or knock off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I built my Lego warships to be waterline as opposed to full hull.
One of these, when you're filming from the house, we got to do a little tour of some of your warships because those are big and beautiful, man. And well done, brother.
Yeah, I was very pleased with how they came out, and they definitely decorate the room nicely. And you can check them out on my Lego channel, Captain Xavier's Brick channel.
Absolutely.
Build videos for them and everything. Well, kind of. It's most like, fast forwarding. People are like, "Will you make the instructions for those?" No. Oh.
No. That would
take weeks to actually do.
Just watch the video. Leave me alone.
Just pause it every couple of it goes too fast. Oh.
By the way, everyone, again, don't forget to subscribe, like the channel, share with your friends, grow the channel, please. The more people we get, the more money we get, the more we can actually do. The bigger we become, that means we then have the power to host events and do other crazy things for you. So again, like and subscribe, hit the like button. Please hit the like button. That'd be great.
We'll make it easier for me to travel around the world and run Nerf wars at cons.
That's the thing. You want to see Captain Xavier in your local area? Like and subscribe. Give us the opportunity to fund his travel. Come on, man. Don't make us charge you money for nothing.
I should get merch. Do you know anywhere, any good places to get merch, Al?
I think you should go to Sticker Mule because that is a great place to get merch.
Why
I
have
have
you
so
never
many
mentioned
pins.
this before?
You know what? I'm old, so now that we have it on video record, you should go to Sticker Mule. I think right now you can get 29, no, 50 holographic stickers for like $29.
But their YouTube ads are so annoying.
That's the best thing. When you're buying it, you don't have to listen to YouTube ads. You just buy it.
I'll then get to yell at the ads like, I already did it. Leave me alone.
Do you like hot sauce?
Bad acting and your weird timing in your videos.
Do you like hot sauce?
I don't know. No,
All
food
right.
should not hurt.
I agree. They do have a hot sauce called the mule sauce, which my friends have said is pretty good. And once you hit like certain numbers, they send you free mule sauce. So my buddies can't wait till I order large stickers because then they all get free mule sauce.
Your buddies are into some weird stuff, man.
Some are. That's why it's like, hey, man, I don't want to know. I do not want to know.
I don't know where you're putting this. Just leave me out of it.
Hey, there we go. We got someone in Aberdeen, Washington. Is that anywhere near you?
I don't know.
So in the comments,
Where's
we have someone called
Aberdeen?
Matthew. We have someone called Matthew Harple. So this is Matt in Aberdeen, Washington.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone from Grays Harbor County want to start a Harvey group?
Say, yeah, I know Matt. He's done a couple of arms deals with me.
So is he too far to go to Borst and everything else?
I don't know. I'm confused now. Because he mostly does cosmetic modding to take to post-apocalyptic stuff. Like,
well, interesting. He just put in the comments. He wants to run games in the. He wants to run the. Oh, that guy. He wants to run games in the Dead Mall in South Aberdeen.
Cool. I would go to that. Where is that?
I don't know.
I gotta bring up maps. Amber.
He says, AKA Dark Star, but I think you figured it out. Okay, he's been to Borst, so he gets it. Well, there's a whole post of the World Foam Alliance. This is why we need people to register so Matt can find you, so therefore you can realize I don't have to go to Borst. I can go to Aberdeen.
That's Aberdeen, Scotland, you ridiculous phone. I knew the name sounded familiar. Isn't there an Aberdeen and somewhere else?
Probably. While he's looking up the map, also don't forget.
Okay. So it's west of Olympia.
So it's not that far off.
I'm sure you can probably find people in the Olympia area that'd be willing to make that commute.
There you go.
Again, yeah, like Al said, the World Foam Alliance, that's why we're doing this, to get more people aware that there are clubs so that people can get together and start more clubs and start more events, because we're running out of room at Borst. We need more people to run more events so that people have to pick and choose and they don't come to Borst and we don't have 200 people in a space that fits 80.
That is a definite luxury you guys have.
We got a group forming down in Portland. There used to be an Olympia Foam Society.
Oh.
Maybe there's still an Olympia Foam Society. But yeah, a couple of weeks I'm hosting an event for a bunch of new people from the Portland area to get them hooked on the sport. Hopefully they'll start hosting events down in the Portland area, which will be cool.
Dude, that'll be awesome, man.
And we've got competitive league up here now, Waffle, the Washington Foam Flingers League. Yeah, stuff's happening.
I'm obviously, because I'm in Virginia, but I'm in the DMV area, so I have Maryland Foam Alliance, and there's 3 events every month. Maryland Nerf Herders, I forget everything. Southern Maryland House of Nerfs, yes, and then DMV Nerfers, but they all fall under the same banner. And somehow all 3 of them are different locations, and all 3 of them are still an hour from my house. But you know what? I'm not going to complain. It could be much worse.
Yeah, I mean, Borst used to be an hour from my place. Now it's 20 minutes, 25 minutes. That's nice.
There you go. Yeah.
But Waffle tends to be up on the peninsula, which is like a 2-hour drive. Portland's an hour south, so that's not so bad. Yeah.
But that's why I do it.
Good. stuff. But yeah, definitely. This is why we need people to register for the World Foam Alliance. Tell their friends to register for the World Foam Alliance. Post it places so that it will get out there and we'll get people who don't know anything about our sport, anything about our hobby, finding about our hobby. And then we can get them hooked on the good stuff.
This is also why, like, I'm really pushing the whole con aspect. When you go to convention, it is full of exactly who a lot of us are, man. It is geek culture and nerds on parade, man. And like old guys that take their kids there or anyone else, you find them and they're all foam flingers. There are so many of them. So it only makes sense for us to pop up and actually be in situations where there's a higher concentration and where it's less likely people look at you and go, why don't you do paintball or airsoft? Why don't you keep walking?
Like, they know why we don't do airsoft or paintball. They've met the people who do it.
Yeah, exactly. I say when people sometimes say that to me, why don't you do airsoft? You know what? How about we restart this conversation? Usually it starts with, hi, how are you? Second, but since you've established the rules of this, I am going to now hit you with everything I think you should be doing. Shall we do that? No? Then how about we step back and you can try again? Hi, how are you?
No, see, my standard response to people going, why don't you do airsoft or paintball? Is because people who do airsoft and paintball ask that question.
Exactly. Maybe my response should be, is this like the Highlander? There can only be one.
Yeah, but it's also the reason why I want to run Nerf wars at those conventions, because then you can say, picture this, but 4 times the scale.
Exactly.
Or picture this, but it's 500 people on a college campus hunting zombies. Picture this, but it's high cap, blasters that shoot 4 times this speed in 3v3 competition. That's what we do, but most people have no idea that competitive Nerf exists. Most people have probably never heard of HVZ. Most people don't know that there's probably a Nerf club within an hour of them.
Yep.
Nerf is the second largest toy after Lego. It's a $1 billion industry.
That's why we're here. We're going to educate them. We're going to bring them out, and you're going to love it.
Find them.
We will. So, all right, we're about wrapping up. But a couple of reminders, everyone. It is. So,
last comment?
Probably is. I don't know if we'll answer it.
I'll check.
In the meantime, while he's checking, again, I will be at KatsuCon this weekend, Gaylord National. Feel free to come by and check me out. Again, I will have a lot of my stuff there. You don't have to buy from me, but you can if you want. Awesome Con will be coming up in March. That one, Dartzone will be there with their big inflatable booth. You get to shoot stuff and buy stuff, and you'll find myself and Captain Xavier. We will be hanging around, man, and we will have a small square of green turf so you can stand on our lawn and then subsequently get off of it as well. We will only be charging a small fee for that. Anyways, maybe not. But either way, you never know. Come and find out. But then also coming up next Wednesday, the next episode of Foam Zone. I'm not sure if Andrew has someone lined up yet or not, but come check out Dart Sweep on Foam Zone next Wednesday. If he's still here, he'll make in the comments who he's got coming. After that, it is Get Off My Lawn again. Also tomorrow, Captain Xavier has already uploaded his next episode of The Range, where, again, go check it out and watch it. He'll be doing cool stuff. I am behind on the Forge, but I'm in the middle of Con Life, was in Orlando and all kinds of things. I know, Al, I'm making excuses. I am, but I will come up with stuff.
You know what you need to do? Mark 4. Do a Mark 4.
I'm going to do a Mark 4 and show you how to make it look
Mark
cool.
4. Yeah. We got a couple of questions. One person asked, what do I think of a silent Dartzone Pro Mark II, like the O Snap? That would be awesome if you could figure out how to make it quieter, because it's kind of loud because it's powerful. Somebody asked if I had the fancy Rapid Strike kit. Yes, I did do a review of the fancy Rapid Strike kit with the cool display. I didn't like the switches on the triggers. They were a little too flimsy for my preference.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, Silly Butts is the next guest on
the range. The range is out tomorrow. I have